It's a major setback for Congress MP Rahul Gandhi. Surat court has convicted the Wayanad MP in a 2019 defamation case. He has been sentenced by the court for 2 years. The court has also suspended Rahul Gandhi's punishment for now and has granted him bail for 30 days to allow him to appeal to a higher court. But a massive political war has broken out after the court pronounced its verdict. Congress workers across the country went out on streets protesting against this judgment. Rahul Gandhi's sister, Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, tweeted in support of her brother saying the entire government machinery is trying to suppress Rahul's voice. On the other hand, the BJP called Rahul Gandhi a serial offender and advised him to take the Surat judgment as a learning, as words are deadlier than weapons. But this is not the only problem for the Congress former president. Rahul Gandhi may also face disqualification as an MP. If he goes behind bars, then he won't be able to contest elections for the next 8 years, which could be disastrous for the Congress party. Remember, the general elections are taking place next year, and Congress believes it will be the fulcrum of opposition unity. Conversely, though, any action on Rahul Gandhi can also be a galvanizing issue for the Congress support base and possibly even the entire opposition, given that freedom or lack of it in India is the biggest issue being raised against the current central government. But the big question right now is, can and will Rahul Gandhi face a disqualification? We'll take that question to our guests in just a bit. First up, let me tell you more about the Surat court's order today and what this entire case is about. So the Surat court has held Rahul Gandhi guilty in a 2019 defamation case. Rahul Gandhi has been sentenced to jail for 2 years. Rahul Gandhi in 2019 had asked during a very public rally if all Modis are chor, thieves. The Congress MP made the statement during a rally in Kolar just before the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. The defamation case was filed by former Gujarat Minister Purnesh Modi. Take a look at what the Representation of the People Act says on this matter. Conviction under any offence where sentence is not less than 2 years, the person shall be disqualified from the date of such conviction. Disqualification shall continue for a further 6 years after the person's release. Disqualification of the MP or MLA is not in effect, though, if an appeal is filed. No disqualification if the appeal is filed within 3 months from date of conviction. And disqualification is also not applicable until the appeal is disposed of by the relevant court. But here is the bone of contention over that law. Supreme Court in a July 2013 judgment had struck down Section 8(4) of the Representation of the People Act, which allowed elected representatives those 3 months to appeal their conviction. In fact, the Supreme Court had gone on to call this provision unconstitutional. Since then, Abdullah Azam Khan, SP MLA, has been immediately disqualified from UP Assembly, for example, after a trial court convicted him 2 years in prison in a criminal case. That happened only earlier this year. What is ironical, though, is that the UPA 2 era ordinance that was being brought in by the then government to save convicted lawmakers from exactly that SC judgment was publicly torn by Rahul Gandhi in 2013 in a press conference. He had called it nonsense. Now, the former Congress chief has been found guilty under exactly those provisions and will be up for disqualification because he's been sentenced to 2 years prison term and has no protection till appeal, according to some. But this is not the only time Rahul Gandhi has found trouble over his words. A case has been filed by Advocate Pradeep Modi in Jharkhand High Court also on exactly this statement, when Rahul Gandhi suggested that all thieves seem to have the same surname, that of Modi. He's also been fighting a case in Bhiwandi Court filed by an RSS activist over his statement in a public rally where he alleged that RSS was behind Mahatma Gandhi's killing. And let's not forget, in 2020, Rahul Gandhi had to unconditionally apologize to the Supreme Court in a contempt case over his statement that even court has agreed that Chaukidar chor hai. The big debate that's coming up now is whether Rahul Gandhi, after his sentencing and conviction by the court in Gujarat, will be disqualified as an MP.
एक छोटा सा सवाल, इन सब के नाम, इन सब चोरों के नाम मोदी 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 कैसे हैं? नीरव मोदी, ललित मोदी, नरेंद्र मोदी, और अभी थोड़ा ढूंढेंगे तो और बहुत सारे मोदी निकलेंगे.
Bharatiya Janata Party is going to use court proceedings in order to score political brownie points. That's a very slippery slope to skid on.
मैं ही कहना चाहूंगा कि राहुल जी को इस सच्चाई को स्वीकार करना चाहिए कि शब्दों की चोट शस्त्रों की चोट से ज्यादा गहरी और पीड़ादायी होती है.
Let's go across to the guest joining us. Shaina NC of the BJP will be with us. Lavanya Balal of the Congress Party. Ratan Sharda, RSS researcher and author. KK Manan, senior advocate, all with us. Thanks a lot for your time. Lavanya, I want to come to you first. Congress Party is naturally very upset over the conviction of Rahul Gandhi. But this is coming from a court. Is it fair to then allege that there is some great scheme by the central government to not allow Rahul Gandhi to speak? You have to respect court orders and verdicts, right?
Good evening, Shivani. Absolutely. We do respect the court. And when there is a subversion of some of the laws that happens, we will have to raise our concerns as well. This judgment is, in effect, strangulating the free public speech in India, right? See, if you look at this
no,
case
one second.
itself,
How is it strangulating free speech? Defamation is not free according to our laws, has never been.
Yeah, Shivani, I was just saying the same thing.
Yeah.
There has not been a police inquiry as per the procedure stipulated by the Representation of People's Act about this incident. Then there is this entire thing of intent of criminal defamation has not been demonstrated in the court. The malicious intent while he made the speech also was not demonstrated in the court. The third very weird and fishy thing that has happened is the complainant who filed the case, he went to the higher court, he brought a stay order on the complaint that he has filed, and only once Magistrate Dave was replaced overnight did he vacate the complaint, and he said, okay, now I want the court to proceed on the complaint that I have filed, right? And then there is the complaint which also does not look, the magistrate has not looked into the jurisdiction of this complaint.
All of those are legal arguments you're making, but surely the court would have gone into it. Those arguments have to be made in court, not in the public court. Yeah. Now, you may say that this order is not favorable to you and therefore you're going to appeal it. That is fine.
Yeah, let me finish, please.
But these are not... Lavanya, you're not understanding my question. My question is, these are all court proceedings. You can obviously object to the order that has come in. You can appeal to it. But why are you in the meantime alleging that there is some great conspiracy against Rahul Gandhi? What is the government's role in this?
Yeah. So the answer to that, Shivani, is you have seen in the past 1 week, more than a week, the BJP has not been allowing him to speak in the parliament, which is his right as an MP. Okay. He's approached the speaker for his turn to speak in the parliament. The BJP is saying you will have to seek an apology, you will have to tender an apology about demanding a JPC for the Adani case.
No, but how is that relevant to this case? How is that relevant to this case?
We keep interrupting. Shivani, you keep interrupting.
But Lavanya, how is that relevant to this case?
You asked me about him not being allowed to speak, right? I'm telling you how and where he's not allowed to speak.
No, but that's a matter we've discussed for a whole week and a half. Please talk in reference to this case. How is the government's, curbing his free speech? An individual went to court, the court heard him, the court gave an order. What is the government's role here?
Are you saying the government is not trying in every possible way to curb the free speech in this country is what I'm asking. Why was Magistrate Dave, replaced overnight? Only then the complainant goes and he files a case and he requests that this case should be proceeded once again.
So that's still a court matter. What does the government have to do in that? It's still a court matter.
I'm sorry, Shivani. Please continue.
But you're not answering my question. Can you tell me what government action in this case are you pointing to? This is, of course, a court matter. You will make legal arguments in court. This hasn't been a favorable judgment to you. But what is the government's role here in this case?
Are you saying the government has no role in the entire thing, Shivani?
Please tell me how. I'm asking you because you're the one alleging it.
BJP party. Isn't the complainant a part of the BJP
So?
party? Also, let me make it very clear when you mentioned there was an apology by Mr. Rahul Gandhi to the Supreme Court.
Yes.
It was an apology tendered to the Supreme Court for misinterpreting the Supreme Court judgment
Yes.
on the statement Chaukidar Chor hai and not on the statement Chaukidar Chor hai. It was for misinterpreting.
Yes, I
the Supreme
said
Court
exactly that because he said
Yeah.
court has
I'm
also
just making-
accepted that
I'm
Chaukidar
just
chor hai. I know my facts on
I'm
this.
just making it clear. Yeah, no, I'm just making it clear. It was the apology tendered. Now tell me, the complainant is part of the BJP. Am I wrong?
So what?
So
What
the
does that
I'm saying
mean?
the BJP is not involved in the case. He is-
Madam,
he
do
is
you
an
understand that
MLA
as an individual, if a
BJP
person is from BJP or any other organization and files a case, the organization is not liable for that case? This is a legal issue.
Yeah, this is like saying Godse was not part of RSS after the incident happened, right? That is what
Dear
classically
God,
BJP.
I'm not
does after
understanding
it-
how any of this is a defense for Rahul Gandhi and what he said. Either you deny he said any of that, but again,
Rahul
that's an
Gandhi
argument to be
just-
made in court.
Okay, your question was what Rahul Gandhi said? Okay, Rahul
No, that's not
Gandhi
my
is-
question.
Then what is your question?
My question was,
Shivani.
you're alleging the government is curbing his free speech, which you just said on the show too. How?
By filing all these trivial cases where there is no malicious intent at all.
But the court doesn't
There is
believe
no
so.
malicious intent. Now we have multiple BJP leaders filing cases every day. There are BJP leaders stopping the proceedings in the parliament.
Keep the
All of
parliament
this.
issue separate. We've questioned the government on that. But
No, it is not separate. He's an
okay,
MP.
fine, it is
He's
not
an MP.
separate.
Cannot
But
be
I
separate. He's an
fundamentally
MP.
am discussing this case. Even if BJP workers are filing case, or naturally, if Rahul Gandhi attacks BJP, BJP workers will file case. But to say that there is no malicious intent is your interpretation of what Rahul Gandhi said. The court doesn't agree clearly. I'll bring the lawyer on the panel, KK Manan, in just a bit. But Shaina NC is joining us. Shaina NC, you seem to be pointedly and single-mindedly targeting Rahul Gandhi. On one hand, you don't allow him to speak in parliament, even though he wants to express himself and give his explanation on his statements in London. And now there's this court order that also comes. There's another person who has filed a case against him on exactly this. RSS is fighting against him. You're single-pointedly targeting Rahul Gandhi.
Firstly, let me please say, Shivani, because you had the Congress spokesperson talk about what Rahul Gandhi said overseas. Do understand that was not just a defamation case or a case that became so sentimental because it was about India overseas, but it was dismissing our democratic patterns. It was dismissing our most popular leader, Prime Minister Modi, and it was a claim of nothing but vindication and trying to make it out to be as if India is some barbaric republic.
Okay, but I'm not discussing that.
Republic, and that is why we asked for the apology. This was an apology that was due to a crores of Indians. If Mr. Rahul Gandhi had issues that he had to raise, he could have raised it in Parliament. That being point number one. Now, Shivani, if the courts feel that this defamation case is valid, I think that we need to understand and respect that there is a system in place. There are law and order questions when you call Modi, all Modi's chore and this kind of derogatory language. If we are going to really look at it objectively, understand that when a matter is sub judice, it is not for Shivani or Shaina NC or anybody else to sit on judgment. If this is a fact which is proven in a court of law, we just respect it.
Okay, but I think the larger point the opposition is making, and especially the Congress party, is you look at a sequence of events, and basically what is coming to light is if it's not via your central agencies, then it is via courts, and ultimately it's only the opposition leaders who are under the gun, whether it's court judgments or investigations. That's what the Congress and the opposition is pointing out to, that they literally cannot say anything, cannot do anything.
This is utter nonsense. You can agitate, you can protest, you can raise questions in parliament. You choose to do nothing of the sort. You only want theatrics, optics, and to defame India on international platforms by saying that we're no longer a democracy. Agencies are not independent. They are completely manipulated. Women are not safe. Now, if you have unsubstantiated proof, and if you're going to have this kind of repeat offendery, obviously the courts will take to a defamation case, which is long pending, because you're not just one off. There's so many such cases. Now, if the courts find him guilty, then that's one question. If it is a public sentiment that you're talking about, the public is with Narendra Modi. Read the writing on the wall. People have voted for him as Prime Minister. It is the chair of the Prime Minister and the constitutional responsibilities that he has that you have to respect, not that of the BJP or any other party, but that of the Prime Minister of your nation.
Okay,
so I find this all complete hogwash, where you have supporters trying to gather and have slogans because of something that their ill-informed leader, who in the past has also tom-tommed about what he believes is true and factual, based on no proof at all.
Okay, all right. I want to bring in KK Manan here. There's a little bit of disagreement amongst most of the legal fraternity whether Rahul Gandhi can actually be disqualified as an MP standing today post the conviction. I read out the Representation of the People Act and also the 2013 Supreme Court judgment. Do you believe as it stands today, the Speaker will be well within his right to disqualify him as an MP?
No. You see that his sentence and conviction stayed. Now the question is what language has been used while his sentence has been stayed by the magistrate. If he has stayed only sentence, then conviction has not been stayed. However, 30 days appeal time is with him. Within 30 days, if he filed the appeal and the appellate court also stay his conviction and sentence, then the Speaker may not be able to disqualify him. However, that it's a debatable point today in the country. You have seen Azam Khan, you have seen Lalu Yadav also. So it's a very debatable point. It is, in my knowledge, I think this is the third case after Azam Khan and Lalu Prasad Yadav. Now Rahul Gandhi's case is there. But at the same time, if his conviction and sentence has been stayed or suspended, stay will be granted by the appellate court. However, that suspension has been done by the trial court, in which he has been convicted for 2 years, sentenced for 2 years. Meaning why conviction is there, but sentence is suspended just to, yes, sentence has been suspended while giving him time 30 days, which is his right in the CRPC.
What does that mean? Because
meaning why that he
has time, 30 days time to file an appeal. Until then, he cannot be disqualified.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Lavanya,
because it is his right in the CRPC. It is. That is why I said that now the language of the order of suspension has to be seen, which I have not gone through. But at the same time, my perception is that if his sentence is suspended up to 30 days, meaning by 1 month, if there are 30 days in the CRPC, he can file an appeal. So if the sentence is suspended, meaning by then conviction is also suspended till his appeal will be filed. And it is up to the appellate court. Though it will be a first appeal, automatically, generally, the court suspend the sentence. Even
but as you very rightly said, there is the case of Abdullah Azam Khan, who was an MLA in the UP Assembly just earlier this year. He was immediately disqualified after his conviction, which was also of 2 years in prison. Yes, Lavanya, you wanted to come in here?
Yeah, see, the People's Representation Act clearly says if the offence is bribery or undue influence, only then an elected representative is suspended. Defamation is not included in the Section 8 of this Act. So clearly, we are questioning how he can be. So if our lawyer could answer this, that would be great. I mean,
no, I think we have clarified this with other legal luminaries through the day as well. What you're talking about, the kind of offence, that's taken care of because he's got sentence of 2 years. So if it's 2 years or more, then this disqualification applies to him. Am I right, KK Manan? It doesn't matter whether it's
that is
defamation or
right.
not.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
Yeah. So then
Absolutely.
that part is
You're
taken
right,
care
right.
of. He's got 2 years sentence, so he is liable
Yes.
for disqualification. The only bone of contention here is if he has 30 days before he can be suspended or not. The other big question, the political question, Ratan Sharda, is should he be suspended? Is this a kind of case over which an MP, not just Rahul Gandhi, any MP should lose their MPship? And will that even be politically wise because we are 1 year ahead of the general elections?
Shivani, I would not get into the issue of suspension because that is in the speaker, that is in the law. That is not the issue. Issue is if you talk of political, the issue is whether what Rahul Gandhi said, whether there a case or not, was it in a poor taste or not. See, you can get away by saying Modi, kaha Raja Bhoj, kaha Gangu Teli. You can get away by saying that खून की खेती करता है. You can get away by saying मंदिर में जाने वाली लड़कियां छेड़ते हैं. These are political things and Hindus are large. They don't go to courts on these kind of matters. But when you attack a community, when you attack a caste, we have very strong caste identities, very strong kinship between those castes and communities. What he said is not a caste; it is a community. In Modi, we have great Gujarat Modi. You have got people who are into grain business, into trade, and we have Teli community like Modi ji's. Shettis are a community which is in every party, every organization competing with each other fearlessly. But for their community, they come together. They create wonderful, education institutions. They will fight for the dharma whenever they are attacked. So attacking a community is not a good idea at all. It has proven that Gandhi, Nehru, Rahul is a casteist, and that is what they should worry about. The kind of defense these Congress people are putting is really very embarrassing because
No, you're right. Okay, in public perception, it is one thing. Yeah, go ahead.
One final point. See, this putting people on caste level, then beating them up and killing them is Congress idea of secularism. 1948, Brahmins were killed, thousands of them killed, homes uprooted, burnt because the murder of Gandhiji was a Brahmin. 1984, 6 houses are burnt, thousands are killed because 2 Sikhs killed Mindraji. So this labeling a community as criminal, then creating all kind of violence against them is a habit of Congress. So let us get off this casteist mindset. Let us take society at higher level. If we cannot see for Rahul, problem is Savdhani Gati, Durgatna Gati. When your tutors are somewhere else, he makes a big mistake.
No,
and
but comparing it to what happened for post Indira Gandhi's assassination or Gandhi's assassination may also not be correct because he didn't actually, in this case, he has of course accused RSS of being behind Gandhi's murder. In this case, he didn't accuse anybody of violence.
With religion. They will not identify terror with religion, saying terror is no religion, but a murderer has a caste.
No, but in this case, he didn't say that. Ratan Sharda, all I'm saying is in this particular case we're discussing, he didn't say that. Of course, it was loose words where he ended up equating, one could argue, and that's what the person who filed the case argued, who carries the caste and surname of Modi, to say that, why are these chores all turning out to be Modi? Of course, these were words that could have been avoided. But let's not compare it to some of the other instances you've mentioned. Yes, Lavanya Balal, you wanted to comment.
I just wanted to say it was not a casteist remark. The previous speaker continuously keeps saying it was a casteist remark. And sir, you're attributing a false, agenda to this whole statement.
Friend,
it was not a casteist statement, sir. You are attributing to the entire thing. First of all, the criminal defamation here, when they have filed it, they have not been able to prove the intent, the malicious intent of the statement, sir.
But Lavanya, that's not for any of us to answer. That's for the magistrate to say.
But not the people.
No, he is saying that. He cannot add on to the case. Shivani, he can't add additional tributes to it.
That is a different issue. Point is,
he can't
the people who went to court,
it was a casteist. Absolutely not.
What was the defamation case after all? What was the defamation case about, my dear friend? Please tell me that.
It was not even casteist argument in the court, sir.
You can question judgment. You cannot falsify the statement made by people who went ahead and filed a case. You can't stop them.
You are adding on to it, sir. You're adding on things to it.
No, but casteist or not, one second, can I come in? Ratan Sharda, I'll give you time. Casteist or not, there was a defamation case filed. Now, for you to say that nothing has been proved is not an argument for this debate. That's the point. That is an argument that surely the defendants have to make in court. He's been found guilty as it stands. And this is what I began asking you, Lavanya. You must respect the verdict of the
Shivani,
court.
if I may-
Challenge it.
Shivani, all I'm saying is the entire procedure has lot of loopholes legally, and this will have after effect in the legal system across the country. That is something that we should be concerned about.
So
There
please
are a lot
challenge
of
it.
things that have not been justified in the court of
And
law,
clearly
yet this
said,
judgment has
if
been.
he keeps
Of
the
course, we
legal
will go to the
angle
higher
out,
courts
what he
and
said was
review
right
all
or
of
not?
this.
Okay.
But this
Can
is
I
the
come in,
fact.
Shivani?
Yes. Let me take final comments from all of our guests. China NC, the Congress feels that this is just, victimization of Rahul Gandhi.
I want to say this is a repeat offender called Rahul Gandhi. I mean, he has quoted Mahatma Gandhi on multiple tweets. He has called all Modi's chores. He has had all kinds of comments which have been derogatory in nature, without respecting the fact that this is the elected representative, not just of the Bharatiya Janata Party, but that of 135 crore Indians. He has continued to do it even on international platform. You asked about suspension. Yes, Ratanji is right. That's the prerogative of the speaker. But don't forget, when Mr. Advani in the Hawala case, the Jain Hawala case, he himself said, I will refrain and not enter politics till I'm absolved on all these charges. That being one kind of case of probity in public life,
Yes.
I think he should also think about what all he has said and at least have the decency to apologize on the floor of the House, if not to the citizens of this country who have been completely humiliated by this kind of repeat offendering.
Okay, but do you want a suspension as the BJP? Are you going to gun for it? There is another privilege notice against Rahul Gandhi for his comments overseas, which is
It doesn't
also
come
asking for a
parliament.
disqualification. Is the BJP going to ask for his disqualification, China NC?
Well, that's for the party to decide. As a citizen, I feel he needs an apology, to give an apology, not just on the floor of the House, but to every Indian citizen who lives in India and overseas, because this is the one time we're all proud to be Indian citizens under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi. And he has used his own vendetta politics and theatrics and photo optics to get a little bit of publicity by saying factually untrue things.
Okay, KK Manan, I want to come to you on this issue of defamation itself. I mean, Lavanya Balal, the Congress representative, one is pointing to certain loopholes during this entire legal process. And secondly, if, any defamation is even made out, what do you make? Are these always tricky cases? And, ultimately, what are the chances? What are the options before Rahul Gandhi as far as this judgment is concerned? This is a verdict at this stage.
So far as past is concerned, he is convicted. Prima facie, case was made out, notice was framed against him, opportunity was given to him to cross-examine the witness, opportunity was given to him to cross-examine the complainant and his witnesses. After concluding the arguments, he was found guilty. Today, he was convicted. Only 30 days have been given to him to file an appeal in the higher court. That's all. So far as my other learned panelist is concerned, if she will say 2 plus 2 is equal to 9, I don't have any answer for that. 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. That is that he is convicted, and morally it is an opportunity. I am giving you a message, a Congress panelist. You can convey my message, convey my sentiments, convey my perception. It is an opportunity for him. Resign it. Ask him to say that he will come to the parliament only when he will be absolved from this conviction. Thank you.
Lavanya?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that at all.
He's saying that there should be moral accountability that Rahul Gandhi should take. He should absolve himself of this conviction and only then come to parliament. Whether he can still be suspended or not is a separate question.
Yeah, when we talk about morality, I think a lot of leaders cannot attend the parliament in India, be it from BJP itself. A lot of leaders cannot attend
I'm
the
asking
parliament.
about him only. I'm
when
asking
it comes
about
to
him
moral
only.
grounds, when it comes to moral grounds, we will discuss the moral grounds, but there is also something called as legal rights that is accorded to every citizen of India. Right now, I think we are discussing the legal rights of every citizen, including Rahul Gandhi. So I hope that, there is justice served, and we do not want to be reminded of the times where legal system was misused by the BJP.
Sharda, you wanted to come in earlier. The fundamental issue is that where is this fight going? Is Rahul Gandhi only paying for what his deeds are, what his words are? And this is a reminder, you have to be careful, especially as a parliamentarian, as a top politician. A few others may get away by saying what they say, but obviously somebody of the stature of Rahul Gandhi has to be more careful. Or is it, you know, the whole thing about defamation and suspension as an MP, is that also taking things a little too far?
See, I'll just make two quick points. One is when Ms. Balal says that he has a legal right, she forgets that people also have legal rights. The same Congress have put up 200 cases all over India against a TV owner, TV channel anchor a few months back when they had government in Maharashtra. So where do they stand? Coming to this issue of Rahul Gandhi, if you deliver a loose ball, the other side is going to hit for a sixer out of the stadium. How can you blame BJP for that? He gives a chance every time. He dilutes his own message. He goes to England trying to make a good point and finally ends up goofing up, and 50 hours he changes his statement. He makes a statement of a caste. Then he says, I am fighting for truth. What truth? I mean, you could not call entire 99% terrorists by religion, but you can call for 3 guilties and say entire community is chor or apradhi. What is this logic? Whether it's BJP or Modi or what, to accept your own serious agenda of misgovernance, financial irregularity, whatnot. Why did you create ruckus in parliament when court is already having an SIT on Adani? You create ruckus in parliament. BJP counters it.
Okay.
Now you come crying, victim on the
JPC sir has more jurisdiction than the Supreme Court.
JPC should be one JPC
Supreme
which has
Court committee does not have as much jurisdiction as a JPC.
Did it deliver result? Bofors did deliver results. Did Harshad Thakkar deliver result? JPC. Did Ketan Parikh JPC deliver result? No. JPs are just partisan standpoint, and now it is no manner objective committee. And a waste of money, waste of time. When court is already taking it up, why do you want to have a JPC? Because of some slanging match you want? Nobody will expect.
Well,
I gave you an example. You counter the example.
Wait for the honourable courts to come out with their verdict. What is the urgency for a JPC when the honourable courts have a whole system in place?
Okay, that's a separate debate.
There is an SIT which is probing into all the charges, and there you constantly question the BJP and the government.
Why are you scared of a JPC?
You are not going to give in to
you scared of a
JPC?
Okay, that's a separate debate. I don't have time.
Short sellers letter.
Okay, I do not have time to get into that entire Adani Hindenburg report issue, but I do thank all of our guests for joining us.
Thank you.
I have to move on. So